Lighthouses can be used to mark the entrances into harbors or the approaching of unsafe waters. However, outside of their feasible usage, they also prove to be visually pleasing as well. Hey, what's going on? This is Random Things Review, and today I want to take you through my 6 favorite lighthouses in the greater New England area. Number 6 on my favorite lighthouses in the Northeast is Goat Light Island in Kennebunkport, Maine. Goat Light Island was established in 1835 to guard the entrance to Cape Porpoise Harbor in quaint little Kennebunkport, Maine. Located on this quaint little harbor, I am personally influenced by this choice as my family has spent many summers in this harbor at local restaurants and swimming. To me, this lighthouse and harbor are the genuine Americana that people flock to New England to. Also, this lighthouse looks stunning against the backdrop of night. There's no lights or cities nearby, so you're able to see the full night sky right with this lighthouse. A very cute setting, and a reason that it's number 6 on my list. Number 5 on my list of favorite lighthouses in the Northeast is the iconic New London Ledge Light. Built in 1909, this lighthouse sits on the mouth of the Thames River, where you can catch the occasional submarine going by, as Groton Naval Base is actually very close to this lighthouse. This lighthouse might be the most haunted lighthouse on the list. Legend has it that the old lighthouse keeper, Ernie, still haunts the lighthouse to this day, and that Coast Guard crew who would stay at the lighthouse actually reported unexplained knockings taking place at night, as well as doors opening and closing repeatedly, the television turning off and on by itself, and the unexplained removal of sheets from beds. Sometimes, rumor has it, in the harbor you can see a floating light in the windows at night. Could this be Ernie walking around? Scariness aside, I think this lighthouse is probably one of the more uniquely situated ones on this list, as it's sitting right in the middle of the harbor, and it makes for a grand entrance. An icon of the New England coastline, this lighthouse stays affixed on this list. For number 4 on this list, we travel back north to the state of Maine to see one of the oldest and largest lighthouses this state has to offer. Completed in 1791, the Portland Headlight is the oldest lighthouse in the state of Maine. It was actually built under directive from President George Washington. Whale oil lamps were originally used for illumination in this lighthouse. During the American Civil War, raids on shipping in and out of the Portland harbor became common, and because of the necessity for ships at sea to sight the Portland Headlight, they built the stack of lamps 20 feet higher so it would be more noticeable. I personally like this lighthouse because the way it looks straight out of a catalog. The stunning rocks that protrude from underneath it, the way the waves crash next to it, the way it towers over the beautiful Maine coastline make this lighthouse very easy to look at, and a reason that it definitely belongs on my list. My number 3 favorite lighthouse in New England is located on Watch Hill, Rhode Island. The Watch Hill Lighthouse is served as a nautical beacon for ships in 1745, when the Rhode Island colonial government erected a watchtower and beacon during the French and Indian War and Revolutionary Wars. It also serves to warn off the dangerous shallow reef that actually is near Watch Hill, so it's still in very much usage today. President Thomas Jefferson signed an act to build the lighthouse in 1806, and construction on it was completed in 1807. This scenic lighthouse is actually located a few feet away from Taylor Swift's private Watch Hill residence, so there's a little bit of a celebrity attraction with this one. I like it because it brings the coastal town of Westerly and Watch Hill together. It's kind of like its beacon point, and it slopes to 2 beautiful beaches nearby, Watch Hill to the right and Mesquamicut to the left. This is in another quaint New England beach town, and I've had a lot of good memories at this lighthouse. There's also really good fishing nearby, and it looks out all over the Atlantic Ocean, and you can see Block Island in a distance from the light. That's why this lighthouse is so important to me and my number 3. To get to my number 2 favorite lighthouse on this list, you have to go about 20 miles southeast of Watch Hill, Rhode Island to get to Block Island, Rhode Island. You see the Block Island Southeast Lighthouse. Built in 1874, this lighthouse served as a welcoming sign for various sailors coming back to the U.S. as it overlooked the vast Atlantic Ocean and was many sailors' first sign of land again. This lighthouse was designated a U.S. National Historic Landmark in 1997 as one of the most architecturally sophisticated lighthouses built in the U.S. during that time. Now, one cool feature about this lighthouse are the bluffs that it sits on. The Mohegan Bluffs are beautifully large sand bluffs that overlook the Atlantic Ocean and make for a stunning vista that the lighthouse has to offer. However, while these bluffs are beautiful, they also cause a danger. In 1993, the entire 2,000-ton lighthouse had to be moved back around 300 feet from the cliffs to avoid falling off the cliffs due to erosion. I think its vistas, the bluffs, and the overlook, as well as the red shingling and the brick building, make this lighthouse so beautiful and so unique, and the reason that this is number 2 lighthouse on my list. And drumroll please for my number 1 favorite lighthouse in the greater New England area, and it is Nubble Light in Cape Nettic, Maine. Built in 1879, this beautiful lighthouse probably has one of the most unique locations on this list because it's really on a rock-covered island. Inaccessible from the mainland, people on the island use a pulley system that goes across the 90-meter gap, so don't take it if you have a queasy stomach. Now, that red roof and the silhouette the island makes this lighthouse so iconic, as well as its glowing red light. And they like to theme it up for Christmas too, so that's nice and festive. Now, Nubble Light is such a famous American icon and such a classic example of a lighthouse that the Voyager spacecraft, which carries photographs of Earth's most prominent man-made structures and natural features, should it fall in the hands of intelligent extraterrestrials, includes a photo of Nubble Light with images of the Great Wall of China and Taj Mahal right alongside it. So, very iconic image, very iconic lighthouse right there in Maine. And once again, just Maine being a cool state, great place to be, great town that it's in at Cape Nettic. I really love the Nubble Light at this number 1 spot. And people like to scuba dive right in that little 90-meter gap too, because there's great lobsters, reefs, and a lot of other wildlife in there too. So that makes Nubble Light my number 1 favorite lighthouse in the New England area. Well, that about does it for my list of favorite lighthouses. Thank you for taking that journey across New England with me. I hope I was able to give you some inspiration about lighthouses. These are just my opinions about these lighthouses. What do you think about them? What are some lighthouses I should visit? What are your favorite lighthouses? Please leave all lighthouse related comments in the comment section below. I'd love to hear them, love to interact, love to read with them. Please just hit that subscribe button to get more future content and more future reviews and lists and every other thing that this channel has to provide. Hope you have a great rest of your day, and thank you very much for watching. Bye.